What is up, YouTube? It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another sci-fi movie review month. And this is review number 21. This is the sequel to the Cronenberg film from 1986. This one was from 1989, and I feel it's very underrated. This is the special edition version of The Fly 2, which I did enjoy. I watched this last year on Halloween, and it's a really fun sci-fi horror film. And it doesn't have the same returning cast from the first movie. I think there's like one actor that comes back, John Getz, but the cast is completely different because you got Eric Stoltz, who I think does a great subtle performance in this. You have Daphne Zuniga, an actress I can take or leave. I did like her in Spaceballs when I was a kid. You have Lee Richardson, I think he's one of the guys there. Other guys, Harley Cross, and then John Getz from the first film. And there's a lot of things into this movie that I really do enjoy. I think the effects are just as good as the first film. It's got a good atmosphere to it. I like the look of the film. It's definitely still 80s, even though it's 1989. They go back. They do more backstory on the first film, especially the ending. They kind of change it a little bit because Gina Davis couldn't come back to do that scene with the her giving birth to that larva. And yeah, and there's also a scene with a dog, which yeah, I did like the scene with the dog. It's a really well done practical effect with the dog, and I really thought it was done well for the budget that they had. And the film, yeah, has a really good score by Christopher Young. Chris Wallace directed this. I think I've seen some of his other work, but this is his most recognizable film that I've seen. And it says a new generation of terror. Yeah, there's one spoiler I'm going to say with this film. The creature, the Eric Stoltz doesn't turn into a fly until the very end, just like kind of the first film. But when you see the effect, it's really done well, and it's no CGI. It's really well done practical stuff. This is the fly too. Yeah. One problem I have with the film is the running time. I think it's a little bit too long. Like even for the first film was 95 minutes. This one's 104. I think there's some padding like in the middle where you can cut it out. I would the romance it's not as strong here compared to the first film. But I think that if you had cut some of that out and there'd be like 10 minutes out, the movie would be 94 minutes. I don't feel a sci-fi horror film should be like an hour and 40 minutes or an hour and 44 minutes because it kind of slows down pacing. But other than that, I think the rest of the film is done well. The pods look really good. Like in the first film, Eric Stoltz's performance is really well done, and this doesn't have a downbeat ending. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a happy ending for him. That's very rare in a horror film, especially not back in the 80s. And I think that just it's an underrated sequel, and the sci-fi aspect works. I mean, the effects work great. The science in it is real well done. Eric Stoltz, I'm glad he did this and not Back to the Future because Michael J. Fox owns that role. And here, I thought he was a really good substitution for Jeff Goldblum. Of course, Goldblum was better, but seeing him in this movie was, it wasn't rehash of the first film. And I feel that the film is very underrated. Not a lot of people talk about this sequel. I think it's just as good as The Return of the Fly, the sequel to the original. And well, for features, I can see this movie again because it has a commentary with the director Chris Wallace and the film historian Bob Burns. Nothing with Eric Stoltz or Daphne Zuniga. There's an alternate ending, but I doubt it is going to be as good. And one deleted scene, but it's well worth the money that I paid. I paid like $4 at 7-Eleven. Really good deal. It's a film that doesn't get the respect it deserves from critics, especially people that like Cronenberg's version. They said they thought this was kind of half-assed. I don't think it's a half-assed sequel. For some of the sequels we get nowadays, this is a really good sequel. It's definitely a fun follow-up to the first film. It's not a sequel that makes the first film pointless. It's not a sequel that destroys the first film. It's not a sequel that's inferior. It's a sequel that belongs in it, just like other sequels like Gremlins 2 or Ghostbusters 2 or other sequels, I really enjoy this film, and I'm glad I got it in my collection. I'm glad that I saw it for Halloween last year, before Halloween. And it's a fun movie. If you've seen Cronenberg's movie, see this one, and it'll definitely lift your spirits if you were depressed at the end of the first one, because I know it was a downbeat ending. This one doesn't have it, and I'm glad. Fly 2 is pretty awesome. So that's my review for The Fly 2, the very underrated, solid sequel to the first Fly, and really good effects, well directed, well acted, just a little bit too long. I think the hour and the four 10 minutes could have been snipped out and it would have been fine. You could have put them as deleted scenes or alternate cut of the movie, like a director's cut. But anyway, Fly 2 is a really good film, and I would definitely watch it again for Halloween. Anyway, that's my review of The Fly 2. I hope you guys enjoy it. Watch it if you haven't seen it. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and commenting. And I'm glad that I haven't gotten any flags on my videos, because my poor friend Parker, he got flagged and he didn't deserve it. YouTube, stop giving the copyright claims, please. You guys, you don't know what you're doing. You're doing random occurrences where with the copyright clause. If we have rights, we want to use them. We don't have to upload something that's copyrighted that just came out. But if it's something old, just let it go. Like I said in Frozen, just let it go. You people, there's literally channels here that you can, post movies and television shows and music videos and all this stuff, and then we put a piece of music and we get a flag. Are you freaking kidding me? Fix your mistakes, YouTube, or I'm gonna switch to Daily Motion, because at least they don't have the same problem. But anyway, that's enough about that YouTube rant. Screw this copyright crap. I'm sick of it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and